Welcome to this video on how to protect your lawful permanent resident status while living abroad. In this episode, we will explore reentry permits, timing requirements, and the major trade-offs between finishing a foreign degree and integrating in the United States. We will also cover how to prove continued residence and what evidence you may need at the border. Stay through the end for key takeaways and practical tips. The risk arises because permanent residency presumes you intend to live in the United States as your primary home. Long absences, especially beyond 6 months, can lead to close questioning by border officers. A year or more outside the country may raise allegations of abandonment. Even with a reentry permit, extended time away can signal that your true residence might not be the United States. That is why timing, documentation, and genuine ties matter. Here is the roadmap for today. First, we will cover the crucial timing for the reentry permit. Next, we will explain the core rules around Form I-131 and biometrics. Then, we will analyze the trade-off between completing a foreign degree and integrating in the United States. After that, we will outline how to prove U.S. ties at the border. We will also discuss the long-term financial and career implications. Finally, we will provide an action plan and checkpoints. This content is informational and does not constitute legal advice. Immigration situations are fact-specific, and laws or policies may change. You should consult a licensed immigration attorney or accredited representative to obtain advice tailored to your circumstances. Here is the critical timing. You must be physically present in the United States when filing Form I-131 for a reentry permit, and you must remain in the U.S. long enough to attend your biometrics appointment, which typically occurs 1 to 3 weeks after filing. Only after completing biometrics can the physical permit be mailed to you abroad. Spending more than 6 months outside the United States triggers heightened scrutiny at reentry, and spending a year or more raises serious abandonment concerns. Even with a reentry permit, extended continuous absences can undermine your claim that the United States is your permanent home. Follow these steps carefully. First, enter the United States as a permanent resident and gather identification and supporting documents. Second, complete Form I-131 and pay the applicable fee. Third, file the application only while you are physically in the United States and ensure you provide a reliable mailing address. Fourth, monitor for the biometrics notice, which usually arrives in 1 to 3 weeks. Fifth, attend biometrics in the United States. Do not leave before this appointment. Sixth, after biometrics you may depart if necessary, and arrange for international mailing or pickup of the permit. Seventh, continue establishing and maintaining U.S. ties, including filing taxes, maintaining financial accounts, securing housing, and pursuing employment or education in the United States. Eighth, when you return, carry evidence of ties, and be prepared to explain your residence and intent to live permanently in the United States. Additionally, note that failure to attend biometrics invalidates the application. This table summarizes how time outside the United States correlates with risk. Less than 6 months typically presents lower risk, but you should still maintain strong ties and file U.S. taxes. Between 6 and 12 months, risk increases, and a reentry permit is strongly advised. From 12 to 24 months, risk is high, and a reentry permit is crucial to mitigate abandonment concerns. Beyond 24 months, risk becomes very high, potentially requiring a returning resident visa if the permit has expired, and you should expect significant scrutiny and possible challenges to your status. This flowchart starts with a new permanent resident deciding on next steps. One path is finishing a degree abroad, which leads to long absences, increased abandonment scrutiny at reentry, a weaker U.S. professional network, and delayed entry into the U.S. job market. The other path is integrating immediately in the United States, building a stronger network, gaining local experience, maintaining continuous presence, and accessing jobs sooner. There is also a feedback loop indicating that even with a reentry permit, remaining abroad for 2 or more years can raise red flags about abandonment. The final comparison shows that integration typically aligns with higher long-term earnings and stability, while finishing abroad often carries status risk and opportunity cost. On the left, finishing a degree abroad can provide short-term tuition savings and familiarity, but it comes with extended absence risk, weaker U.S. networking, and potential reentry scrutiny. On the right, integrating in the United States can increase lifetime earnings potential, offer immediate access to internships and jobs, establish continuous presence and ties, accelerate professional growth, and support a smoother long-term path to citizenship. Weighing these factors, the long-term benefits of U.S. integration generally outweigh short-term savings abroad. To prove you have not abandoned residency, compile strong evidence of U.S. ties, prioritize filing U.S. tax returns, and maintain a physical residence through a lease or mortgage. Keep active U.S. bank and credit accounts with regular transactions. Show that you are employed or enrolled in school in the United States. If applicable, point to immediate family members who live in the United States. Supplement with a U.S. phone plan, insurance policies, and memberships. At the border, carry copies of this evidence and your reentry permit if you have one, and be ready to explain the temporary nature of your time abroad and the location of your U.S. home. Financially, integrating in the United States tends to pay off. A U.S. degree and network can produce higher lifetime earnings, and early internships and mentorships create compounding career advantages. Conversely, years spent abroad delay entry into the U.S. market. In the illustrative scenario, a 2-year delay abroad can reduce cumulative earnings significantly over the next decade, especially in fields with strong growth or geographic pay differentials. The bottom line is that short-term savings usually do not outweigh long-term earnings potential, combined with the security of maintaining permanent resident status. Quiz time. The question is, when must a permanent resident be physically present in the United States in relation to a re-entry permit application? Option A, only when picking up the permit. Option B, at the time of filing and for the biometrics appointment. Option C, only when re-entering the United States. Option D, physical presence is not required. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B. You must be physically present in the United States at the time of filing Form I-131, and you must remain in the United States for the biometrics appointment. Only after biometrics are completed can the physical permit be mailed abroad. Here is the second quiz question. Which statement best reflects the risk during extended time abroad for permanent residents? Option A. A reentry permit guarantees no abandonment concerns, even after 2 or more years away. Option B. Spending more than 6 months abroad can trigger scrutiny, and 12 or more months raises abandonment questions. Option C. There is no difference between 3 months and 18 months abroad. Option D. Only owning property abroad determines your status. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B. Spending 6 or more months abroad can trigger increased scrutiny at reentry, and 12 or more months heightens abandonment concerns. A reentry permit is a helpful document, but it does not eliminate the possibility of questioning or status challenges if absences are prolonged. This mind map organizes the integration plan for new permanent residents. Under Legal and Documents, it includes the timing of filing Form I-131, completing biometrics, and filing U.S. taxes. Under Residence and Finances, it emphasizes securing housing, maintaining bank and credit accounts, and appropriate insurance. Under Education and Work, it highlights enrolling or transferring to a U.S. program, seeking internships, and networking. Under Family and Community, it notes immediate family in the United States and participation in local groups. Finally, under Travel Strategy, it underscores carrying evidence on return, limiting absences, and understanding permit validity. Here are the core action items. File Form I-131 promptly if you must travel for an extended period. Remain in the United States for biometrics before departing. Limit your absences and prioritize continuous presence. Build multiple categories of U.S. ties including taxes, housing, bank and credit, and employment or school. When faced with the trade-off between finishing abroad and integrating in the United States, usually favor integration. Always carry evidence of your ties, and be prepared for detailed questioning at the border. In summary, your intent to reside in the United States is demonstrated through presence and tangible ties. A reentry permit is useful, but does not eliminate the risks of prolonged time outside the United States. Absences of more than 6 months attract scrutiny, and 12 months or more raises serious abandonment concerns. Early integration typically leads to better earnings and career outcomes. When uncertain, consult a qualified immigration attorney. Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe for more practical immigration guides. Tell us your biggest question in the comments and what topics you would like us to cover next.